Hello, I'm here. I'm a bit early, but I've caught some of you out actually because a few announcements to make. Good stuff again. Before we actually start, our Drippy portrait of Michael Sheen. Yeah, I took the picture myself off TV, like I said, and that's why his name's on. But it was a nice image actually. I've got one in black and white and I've got one in colour. If you notice the black and white one, it's the light on his face doesn't show up that well. But the coloured one, you can see the highlights quite well. So I might be using the colour for this one. Not trying to emulate the colour, just trying to copy stuff. And oh, my son's here, great. Good timing. Thought I got my afternoon free. Anyway, just to let you know, I'll put an announcement on that the Nightingale Centre at Great Hucklow in Buxton, Derbyshire, has been in touch, and they are opening, if all goes to plan with the government, opening up in May, and so our June and our July programme, our course, weekend watercolour courses are going ahead up to now. If the government change it, then we probably won't be. So I've put it up there. We have got quite a few on. I mean, there are places left if anybody's interested. It's a lovely place. You get really good food. I hope we'll have lovely weather again. We've never failed in June actually. To be stood outside painting the countryside and a little village as well. So you can paint the village, and it'd be nice to get together really as well. So yeah, if you want any more information, get in touch with me. My email address is there. I can find my phone number as well, and I can send you a flyer. I'm presuming everything's the same price because they haven't told me any different. So on my flyer is the price. Yeah, you do have to book through them. So when you ring, they'll ask for a deposit if you're booking. You don't book through me. You just say you're coming on my course, okay? We stop when I get to a certain amount. It's about 16, so that's 17. But I think we had 11 at the last count on the June one, and about 10 on the August one, which is, it's actually 30th and the 31st of July and the 1st of August, which is the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, okay? So we go on the Friday, we do a class in the evening before dinner, because we have dinner, but we also have Sunday dinner, Sunday lunch before we come home. So we only leave like about 2 o'clock on a Saturday, on a Sunday, sorry. And you've all day Saturday painting, outdoors or indoors, or have a rest, and we have a nice bottle of wine at the table and a couple of beers. Anyway, if you're interested, let me know. Those who are going, you paid in for 2020 your deposits, I presume. If not, they'll be getting in touch, and then they've just transferred you over from 2020 to this one. Right, so anyway, there's nothing else. Oh yeah, I'm just going to announce that the Tuesday class as well, maybe starting, like I said the other week, after the 12th of April, so that'll be good. And it will also affect the Wednesday class, so that's Tuesday and Wednesday classes. I'll be going back, so it's Lawrence Church, St Mary's Church. I'll still be doing online as well, and in the days I'm not doing classes, but I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday free and Saturday free yet, so I'll be okay with them. And we start our next set of 12, would you believe, because this is 10 and then 11 on Friday, class 11, and then it's class 12 on Monday. That means we start again on Wednesday the 10th of March, February, March, yeah. So it's moved again, these dates in your head now. Totally forgot all about dates and planning, except for the planning thing. So yeah, so that's the, as it stands so far. Hopefully things are going to go well, and we'll all be covered and back to normal, or some kind of normality. It'd be lovely just to get together and relax, wouldn't it? And chat. Anyway, there you go. That's all I've got to say at the moment. Well, I've got a lot more to say, but probably be sick of hearing me by the end of it. So yeah, we're going to sketch him out. Well, gesso paper. People who haven't got gesso, you could still do the same thing on just normal paper, yeah. The problem being when you glaze it, but when you put colour on, you won't be able to rub the colour off. But you can always mix white with the colour and paint the highlights, you know, the traditional way of painting, yeah, dark to light. But that's the only thing, you know. But you can always go over it, you know, and make it lighter. If you're on gesso, we can rub out the lights to get, instead of using pure white pigment. But then we use a bit of white as well after, it doesn't matter. So colour wise, I'm just kind of throwing all sorts of colours at him. I noticed by the image that this left hand side of his face needs to be getting more of the light than his right, yeah. So we could probably have the cooler colours over this side and the warmer colours over here. He's got really quite wild curly hair, which is good, and I like the beard. And I've not actually done this technique using doing a beard in this technique, so there you go. We can have a play at that. But I'm going to sketch him with a piece of willow charcoal first. Don't use compress, you won't be able to rub it out. Willow, very faint. Sketch him. I'm not too bothered about him tilting his head, actually, because it just makes it more difficult. We don't really have to tilt his head. If you just turn your picture slightly to one side, you know, it's more upright then. So you don't really need to. We just kind of do something like that. And yeah, so I'm not going to tilt his head. It's only slight as well. So you can square it off like that. That's what I'm saying. You see. So that's a kind of a square, but you've not got that angle. Anyway, enough of that. Here's central in my picture. It's quite big, so it's going to go off the picture. This is not square piece of paper. This is an oblong spur. So I'm going to use this because I want the paint to go on here. And we just draw his head for half of the painting here. That's the one we did a few the last. In the 12 last 12 classes we did. That's an oil one I did in the same similar style, rubbing off the paint, which is quite quickly done actually. So you can use this technique with different mediums. Yeah? The idea is to keep lots and lots of colour. That's the main thing, and because of the acrylics, you know, so we can keep it very, very kind of colourful. Just going to crop this. You know, when you paint something, you can always crop it, like I said, and it gives you a different perspective. Can you see like that? So I'm just going to crop his head so it's square. See, that makes it much more interesting rather than a tilt. There you go. Anyway, that's without his beard, don't forget. And then we've got the centre of the features. He's looking straight at us. Good. Have you noticed the eyes are always in the middle? Don't forget the hairs on his beard are hanging down a bit, and the hair on his head's going up a bit. But everything else is kind of. I'm not bothered it goes off the picture. We're going to splatter a lot at the top, you know. Do a lot of that. What's on there? Try and create that feeling of curly hair, and then looking at the shapes in the face. His eyes look quite small for the size of his head. His head looks quite wide actually. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Straight line, straight through the middle. So we're looking at kind of here, and so that's about where the middle is. So, socket in the middle of that. Don't forget. 5 sockets wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going slightly narrower as you go around the edge of your picture. This edge is just to position the eyes, nothing else really, because you'll get them looking in the same direction, or you get the head tilted back or whatever. That's all we use it for. Same socket, same size socket, don't forget to touch. That should be the centre of the circle. Excuse me, and because he's looking at me, he's looking at you, we can't see much of his of his iris, but I'm just going to draw the top eyelid in like that, and the corner of his eye. He has no bags, right? Like me, getting bags, stress. And then, so here we've got the top eyelid again. It's kind of curves around slightly to a point near the circle. So our nose is usually at halfway point between the head straight up as well, because the ears are on level with the eyebrows like that. So we don't want to look at that yet though. So because the eyes are in the middle of the head, the nose is approximately halfway between that eye and the chin. Okay, so you can put the nose in. You can actually see on his nose where the highlight is, right at the tip, and you create a wedge shape like that, which attaches to the face. And if you put the nostrils in like that now, you get the shape of the underside of his nose. You drop a line down from the corner of his eye, it's going to be near to the side of his nose where the nostrils are. Same on this one. Yeah, so you can just draw that in. No lines around the nose. There is no line around your nose, okay? His eyebrows sit on the top of that socket, so you can just draw that shape. The distance between there and the eye is quite a big one, so that's okay at the moment. The nostrils okay. We can rub out some of these lines if it starts to get a bit too much. Then we're looking at the mouth. Now, I know he's got his mouth open. If you want to do the mouth as though it's open, it's kind of Bugs Bunny teeth like that. And you can see the shape of his moustache. So the moustache is kind of coming here, and it creates that shape around his mouth. The bit in the middle which separates like that, and then this comes down. So it's like it's just a big shape on the mouth, and then you got his bottom lip, which is quite full, and then you've got his beard, which again you get a shape there at the side of the mouth, and you get a shape here. It looks like he's missed a bit shaving. Just a small amount on this side, and then you're coming down the shape of his kind of his beard. Alright, then we can look at the sides of the head. And like I said, we've got a shadow here, and the distance between the and the temple, which is like that. It's quite a big distance. Yeah, it's actually, I've just been measuring it. It's like the width of his nose, where the eyes go in here. Because that's the inside of the nose. So the width of the nose is about the same. And so again, you've got the same thing happening. It's quite a big distance. Yeah. It might even be an eye's width there. It might be slightly. So anyway, we've got a straight line where the eyes are, where the side of the head is, and his sideburns. And then we've got a straight line here like that, and that's the width of his sideburn. As it comes down, you get the change then in direction from the jaw, which is coming from about here, like that. And that's the moustache. I'm not going to block anything in because we don't want to do that. We just want to draw a shape because I'm going to use my pen. So again here, we look at the nose. The bottom of the ear is on level with the nose, like that. And same on this side. Bottom of the ear on level with the bottom of his nose. You see, like that. So they're lined up. Quite a big forehead, and then the distance there of the hair is coming off the picture, and just over here like that. Curly hair, not too bothered about that. Beard, goatee, and then the thickness of the neck and his beard on this side, which joins up to the moustache. Okay. Don't try and draw all the lines, the marks of his hair in a bit. It's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but it'd take you forever and a day, and it looks stupid at the end of it. Anyway, the neck, kind of wider for a fella, yeah. Don't make it too thin. That's a look a bit silly. And then his shoulders, like that. Okay. Now, because it's Martin Sheen, we are actually, I know some people are going to be trying to get it looking like him, and hopefully we can, but it's not something I'm concentrating on too much at the moment. It's just I'm concentrating on the shapes around the face. Okay, I've got some tissue as well. I'm going to rub out the charcoal a bit. I'm using a pen. Get your pens, have a drink. Thirsty work talking. Waterproof pen again, yeah, so it won't come off. So I've got the hair which is like creating this shape down the side of his head. We can go over his ear and round here. It comes in to his moustache like that. Side of the nose, the nostrils, yeah. Underneath this highlight on his nose, things like that. You can just see his top lip. There's a little line in between his teeth. That'll disappear here. The width of his mouth, the shapes around the mouth and the moustache. And the way his beard is, the shape it creates around the mouth. Don't bother about scratchy little lines, because that's where his eyes are kind of, iris is quite small, and I just draw around the eyebrows. The iris, you can hardly see how big they are. I'm going to put this shadow in because it comes down his nose and then it goes to this centre point like that. And then you can see a little bit over here. Okay, we don't, that slants down a bit and comes up. There's a shadow here on his forehead, on the side of his hair, again on this side. His hair there, well, and the ear shape on this side, I don't think I've done it. Neck, collar, button, shirt. Yeah. Nothing too detailed, to be honest. No way am I trying to make it look like him, because it's impossible at this stage. Alright. Take the excess charcoal off. With tissue. Naturally some of it's going to stay. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. And then we use a rubber to get the bigger black smudges out here. Where you want to keep pure white areas, you know, it's like here. Don't matter too much about his hair. That's it. Anyway, sun's coming out again. I'll get some gardening done. Later on. Keep painting the fence. There you go, so that's all that's left is that shape. Now, it's not going to look anything, I can just about see it. I know what I've not done, I've not put the glasses on. That's why I can't see. That's better. I can see the, I can see now. So I'll just rub out this. And then we're going to start with some colour. You do need a damp cloth with this one. Yeah. And just spray it so it's moist. Don't spray it so it's wet. Water's dripping off it because it will run all the way down your picture and ruin it. And so I think we're drawing everything. So the colours, I've got cadmium yellow, got burnt sienna, naturally, alizarin, ultramarine, phthalo green and some cerulean blue. Well, I use them all, different matter. I've also got my white handy if I want to use it, okay? But I'm mainly looking at nice warm colours in the face first. So as you can see, if you start by just throwing it on, what's that? A bit charcoal. If you start by throwing it on in the features, like this, and then we move into cooler places in the face like that. And then we move into the blues and whatever, and we can use the blue quite a bit for around his beard. I'm going to have a little bit more tonal value just on this area at the bottom of his head. Just make sure all these colours kind of blend together, if you like. I'm going to kind of splatter, just be careful when you do this, into his hair. You can turn the picture around as well, actually, so it runs, so not everything's going to run in one direction. Okay, and we've got these really nice shapes like curly hair, and then turn it back, and then don't be worried about anything running into anything else. A bit of cerulean blue, naturally, as well, and then a bit more alizarin, kind of burnt sienna. What's it doing at all? No idea. Turn it the other way. Let the colours blend a bit. And I'm going to dry it off. I'm going to keep some of these blues. The greens we're going to blend now anyway. Get a smaller brush. Mix a couple of colours together as well. And if you look at the picture, we can kind of splatter some of his hair where it's quite curly actually, which is over this side as well. I've only got a drawing, so you know. Like that. And then we'll go this way. Oops, hit the light. And then we're going to dry him off. Use your brush as well for softening areas or blending areas. You know, if it's too thick, take some colour off, because if it's too thick you won't be able to rub it out later. So, well, we can glaze quite a bit, so don't worry too much about anything else. Right, get your hair dryer. If it's handy. The colourful chap. Scratch out. I've got some white. I need a few darks in his moustache and beard, so just drag that off a bit. Get a small amount of, again, blue and alizarin. Okay, and I'm just going to drag this under his tash. It's that kind of shape, and it's the side of his head. Splatter into it. It just needs a little bit of directional strokes, can you see? So you're not getting it everywhere. Same on this side. Directional strokes. The way his hair, his beard creates this shape side of his head. Come down here as well. The ears there, still there the ear. We can do this side of the head. Splattering techniques, don't we love it? We can take off anything that's running too much. We can also do these scratchy bits in his beard, and dry it off again. He's there underneath. Okay, couple of glazes now, just to get some warm colours in. So I've got burnt sienna. I'm just looking at the eye, not too dark really. Take a bit of that off, and between the eyes, because it's quite dark there. That's okay on that side. We're going to glaze the shadow inside of his nose like that. He's got a ridge right down the centre, so a bit of sienna, just on that angle as well, underneath his eye, side of the head, like that. You've got a lovely kind of shape there. These are glazes. I'm not doing a lot really. You can look at his ear as well, so quite a bit of water, because the ear's quite warm, yeah. Same over this side. You can rub that out, isn't it? A little warmer. You've got a little bit under his top lip, and then his teeth are there, and then that's his bottom lip, believe it or not. On this side, the shadow, so ultramarine, blue, a little bit of alizarin, mix it together with water. So just create this eyebrow and shadow shape. And there's one here as well. And then it creates that ridge, and then that goes into his cheek. And we get a lovely light underneath there, so we don't have to do that one. Nice angle there, nice shape in there. Okay, stand by. If you've got lost, it is under there. I really hope so. So you get your damp cloth now. He is a little bit wet though at the moment. So just a little bit of light under his bottom eyelid. Not light, a bit of dark. That's a bit of sienna. Cheekbone again. Same thing here. Cheekbone. And we'll dry it off. Just make sure it's dry before you use damp cloth. Well, I got a small brush for his eyes. I'm going to put those in because it will help you to see the positioning. Okay. So his eyes, I'm not using white paper because we haven't got any, but I'm going to use white paint after. So underneath that eyebrow, quite a nice shadow, just in the corner there as well. Same over here, so that's the eyebrows, quite dark. Then it comes in there. It's a bit of red and blue. Up here, okay, bit of water as well. Pupil, and then the shadow around the eye. You can see? I'll put the highlights in later. I'm going to go darker too with that, so I don't need to go too dark yet. Just keep it so you can see where it is. While I'm doing that, I'm going to put his nostril in each side. Okay. We can use some of this for his moustache later, but I'm going to leave it for now. Keep the side of that head nice and dark. So I'll get your damp cloth, wherever I put it. It's on the floor. The thing you can't see with these glasses is distances. And then we're using the cloth. So this is the easy bit, okay. So we're rubbing out highlights. So if you look here, he's got 2 or 3 light areas just above where his brows are kind of furrowed, yeah. And then that goes into this area above his eyebrow. You get a little bit of light there as well, just above there. And we're coming up here. Now it's green, I know that, but it doesn't matter. You can always paint over it if you don't like green. Underneath the eyebrow is the light catching his top eye lid. Like that. So you've got a nice shape there. And it's also catching the bottom. You've got a line underneath where the light is, and then it blends into this kind of side of his face. Got a little light on his nose, the shape as well. Comes in, and then you get the tip of the nose, very light. Inside the eye, on his cheek, just below his bottom eyelid, and then you're getting the light catching his face. So it's the side of the nose, and here and there, and then they join up into quite a strong highlight, and that's nice and light. Okay, we're going to have a little bit more light catching the underside of his eyebrow, just there. I've not put his eyebrow in on that eye, have I? Sorry. Bit of blue red. That's quite dark, and this is, again, it's just a little eyebrow there. Bit weird, really. Not got normal eyebrows, have I? Hope he's not listening. Anyway, just carry on, because that's the face, that's the features. You get a little bit of light catching here, which I've already got, so that's good, because it's a happy accident. If I look at the side of his corner of his eye there, it's this area, and that goes to the side of his head, the cheek, and that comes down where his sideburns are. This is a bit of a point actually, and then this is all going to be light, so I'm going to just take a bit of paint off. I want to keep this egg going around the head, if you know what I mean, and we can glaze that with some paint, some burnt sienna or something like that. Right up here, sorry. Coming down, just right up there, we've got that lovely warm colour. I just take a bit off, that goes into his hair then, side of the head, and then I get a nice shape here. Then I look at the mouth, at the side of his moustache, so you can rub it out. There's a man. Top lip, muscle, his teeth, a little bit of light, that's all, nothing too much. The bottom lip catches the light, like that. As you get under the nose, just there, this is the light hip. That's quite okay actually. Keep standing back from a distance, you'll see it better. So here we're going into the chin. It's going to be a straight line. I'm going to paint that in a bit. There's a lot like that, and then this is his neck, which is not sienna, it's blue, so it doesn't matter. And the neck goes a lot lighter here. And it's cool on the other side. Okay. Stand back. I'm going to go a bit darker. It's just about see him coming out of the chaos. Alright. Got some sienna mixed with water. You can come down here now where the side of his head, just to give that a bit of a warm tone, you see. Don't want it too wet actually. And then you're coming down to the shape there, and then down to the jaw. It's glazing. I'm just glazing. Get your big brush then. Blue, alizarin, green. So from here, I'm just gonna drop in. I want it to run a little bit. I don't really want it to be painted. Because I can do this after. Pull the hairs out of his side of his head. Yeah, like that. And here. Because you can still do this curly hair bit. Same on the other side. I want some darks over there. So a bit of blue, green, alizarin. Lovely strong dark hair. Just here. I've not rubbed his ear out, so this is a shadow under his cheekbone. I'm going to do under his nose as well. And the side of the moustache. Just at the top, quite a big, isn't it? Quite a big shape, like a great big caterpillar. I want that to just crumble off the picture just a little bit. A lot of beard. It's got to be white afterwards just to get that shaping. And again, because the eyes are slightly darker, just glazing under there. And that. Bottom lip, it's quite dark in the corners and then underneath, but other than that, nothing much there really. Side of the nose, which comes up to here, it's a little bit darker just under that tip of the nose. And then we're getting inside the eye again, which is just giving you these creases in his forehead. See? Brilliant. I'm going to rub this off as well. We need it to be, although I quite like that. I need it to be a little bit lighter there. It's quite high up, isn't it? It's got a high forehead. That's coming round right in the middle and then going down that side. So forehead's quite a big shape. Let's do Martin. All this is grey. What I will do is I'm putting his shirt collar in, which is quite dark, so I'll just put the shape in like that around his button. blue and green. Seldom seen. That's red and green, isn't it? Angle shape again of his collar. Let's see if you look. It's going to about here. And then off the picture. Let it run. Always down that lad. Right, thick paint, red and green. Touch of blue if you want to. Those eyes too small. We need to make them a little bit bigger and darker. Like that. The nostril bit again, because it's gone lighter. His eyebrow comes into the, and then goes into the corner of his eye. So like that, and then that's eyebrow on that side. The other side, same principle. Pupil, iris, top eyelid. He's looking at you. He's looking at you, kid. Okay. Let's have a drink. So where his nose is here, we've got some really strong darks. So I've got thick pigment. You can just see a little bit of a shadow on here, his tooth. This side, you can't see much. It's quite dark under his nose, and then it quite dry brush stroke really, very thick pigment to give it that dark shade. You can scratch out of that, like I said, some light areas. This is going into this moustache, which is underneath. Which gives you this dark shape down here. And that's coming from the side of his head, under his ear. Distance, not that far really, from here. Side of the neck. Cloth. I need to just lighten this bit. And take a bit off of that background. Same over this side. All this green you don't need. Soften the edge there so you don't have a strong edge. Go in here, it's a bit too flat. Around that here. It's quite dry now, so the best thing to do is just wet it. Like you do with charcoal. And then rub. Get that off. It's got a flat shape. On the side of his head, so it's kind of there. And that here, which I forgot about, it's quite light. And this one, don't forget to come down to the bottom of his nose, right there, and on this side, so you can glaze it again, just glaze the bottom like that, so that makes his ear a little bit bigger. Okay, so Soften this side. Really strong white there. Soften that. All these little shapes, isn't it? In the face. That's what you aim for, doing that, the shapes. Putting the shapes in the right place. Hopefully it should start to look like him. And you can keep going and going and going. Maybe like that. Side of the beard. Yeah, and nice straight edge there. Just this bit, that's a bit cool. Cool man. And his forehead again. Like I said with foreheads, you get big flat area. So again, I know we've got different colours there, but you can actually just drop in some cools, like that. I better with a bigger brush actually. Dry your brush and just glaze it, like that. So his forehead's quite cool on that side, and then a bit warmer on this side. If you keep it thin, you can still go about it, see, so keep the wash thin. Again, I need some darks for his hair. He's got this lovely kind of shape at the front. We don't really want it running too much. No. Side of his head. Forever stopping runs now, so it's the drips, curl bits, side of the head, these little shapes, teeth. So all the time, I'm just kind of building it up, darker, lighter, bigger shapes, taking shapes off. It's all about doing that, taking shapes off, putting shapes on. Nice dark, flat tone. Scratch out all there is to it. But it's good fun. You can paint the background as well, lighter, if you wanted to. Down with it, bags down. Just get, we'll take the top off if we can. Me white. And drive it. Just take some white out, little bits. So just showing you what certain little things you can do that make kind of a big difference. The light on his nose, I know I've rubbed the light off, but then you can see where it's kind of really strong lights. He's got a kind of shape there. You see, he's got grey hair as well. It blends into there. When you put these in, well, you can glaze over them afterwards, make them lighter, make them darker. So it's not beauty of acrylics. You can get rid of things and put things in. We can also get a flat brush, or you can use some gesso actually. And I'm going to paint the background in between the beard and side of his neck. That's a negative space, and then blend that in around his ear. See that? Beautiful. And then you can just let that disappear into nothingness. The nothing. So that's the white on that side. You can have a bit of mucky grey. Same thing to apply if you mix burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. You'll get a kind of grey tone, you know, and then you can add white to it. It's like your watercolour technique. If you think about it, they're all kind of based on same kind of principles of colour. So yeah. So again, we've got this lovely shape, and so it's kind of a greyish tone, and that goes into the side of his beard, and then his shirt collar. Actually, it looks like he's talking. I think he was talking. He was talking. Shirt collar, things like that. So your negative space is important, you see. Your grey, you can use your grey anywhere, so a bit of blue mixed with white, a bit of water. This is opaque now as well, so you get an opaque kind of paint that's covering up whatever's in the background. Okay? It starts to become the oil painting technique. You go in back to white, really. Again, I'm going to dry off his forehead because I want to go about and get some eyes. His eyes look a bit small at the moment. Maybe a bit too far apart. You know, don't worry. We can rebuild him, I think. So we come over a bit. Don't matter about that. Paint over it. And that becomes the inside of the eye, and this becomes the inside of the eye. Iris. Very dark there, isn't it? I've just brought it in a little bit to there. That goes in a bit. Better. Looks a bit more like him there. That's what I mean. You don't have to. What colour is his eyes? I've not a clue. I can't even see on the picture. So can't put them in. Well, I had a bit more white here, so I've moved that iris over. You see. So now it's nearer to the other one, if you like. That's what we do. If he's got blue eyes or whatever. Just a little bit of light in the corner there. It's not pure white, it's just blue. Same on this one. Bluey white. Yeah, like that. This is a bit too strong. Because you put your finger on it and dab it off. Yeah. If you put a glaze of kind of sienna glaze on, a bit more white added to sienna. So where I rub out, I can just put some light in, you see. And that will create these brown marks he has there. But I'm going to paint, that's what I was doing that. I think your brain is always looking around the picture to for the next thing. And sometimes I forget what I'm doing. So here, I'm just going to lighten that a little bit with some sienna and white, I know I've got green there, but see that lovely light there? You don't have to do it all over, it's just that little corner. We've got a nice shape here as well. So just under the eyelid, same over there. There's a drip there all the way through his eye. Does it matter? It matters to some. You know what it's turning into? Oh my, turning into a rugby player. Alright, I'm going to glaze that bit as well in a bit. And this bit. It's actually turning into a rugby player, one of my heroes. It's Andy Farrell. He does actually. Andy Farrell. Keep the neck warm. A little bit of sienna again on his neck. Teeth. I hate doing teeth actually because we always overdo them. You've got that little line in the middle, and then you can just see the kind of Bugs Bunny shape, yeah? And then that's the bottom lip. Quite dark. Okay, get some paint, white paint, splatter it on his beard. A little bit of white. Again, in the place you need it, that is. Just keeping this side of his face slightly darker. I'm going to go about a bit more in a bit. And then we can do some more to his forehead here. Andy Farrell. Anybody watch rugby? Six Nations? It's Andy Farrell. I could send it to Andy, as I see Andy, I've done a picture of it. They might say, hey, it looks like Michael Sheen. We might not. I'm going to darken this. I've got some nice textures there actually, so kind of keep it. Stand by. I mean, the time scale we've got, an hour, 2 hours. You can get quite a bit done in that time. Just stop you being fussy by doing it like that. But then you've got all the time in the world after to kind of fix anything, if you want to fix it. And because you're on gesso paper, you see, so you can keep removing the paint, create that the light bits. You start to see little changes in tone. That's what it's all about. It's like when we did the back of that lady piano player. Backs are kind of not easy to do, like I said to Linda, because there's not a lot of bones and shadows there. So it's all simple changes in tone. And if you get them right, you know, it should start to look realistic. I'm going to darken this colour a bit. Contrast again. A bit around here. I've got some white there actually. can use compressed charcoal, put in really strong shadows if you want to. I could just use colour. Entirely up to you. Whatever floats your boat. There's no right or wrong way. Beauty of art. Create your own method. That's what it's about. Create a method. Get it around the button. I can just let it blend. It's Andy Farrell. I'll be able to sell this to Bill now. You can even see the little changes when it hits the forehead there. It comes along here. That distance. Sienna and white. Just here, it's like there's a little shape of his forehead that's a little bit lighter, and I think it's that. Let's give him that high forehead shape. Okay. I haven't done much with the ears at the moment. I'm just going to add a bit more sienna there, and then we'll do some white. This side's a bit of red really. It's a bit more alizarin, and then you get inside the ear there, and then in the earlobe, side of his head. Glaze. Glaze. So from that area. Glaze. A bit more white with the sienna. Just looking at, I like doing these actually. A bit more white because they've got a kind of a highlight. A bit more white. Sorry, I'm going to put a bit in. A lot of it, there's not a lot of white in there. I'm just going to use the white paint now to bring out any kind of subtle changes in tone. It's like the side of his ear against the hair. But out of chaos comes normality, I think. Have another drink, stand back. Andy Farrell. A little bit darker in the eyes. So when you're darkening anything now, it's just glazing. You know, it's like the watercolour technique, we're just kind of glazing. See, that brings the eyes a bit closer as well. There's a bit of it's got like an overlap there. You start seeing all sorts. And just underneath the nose, it's pink. Pinky. There's a bit of white and alizarin mixed together, because that brings out the light around the nostrils. Like that. And then underneath, I just use my finger sometimes to blend, to make them, to knock something back, because if it's too light, it stands out too much. You just kind of stick your finger on it and it will knock it back. A little bit under the mouth. Side of the mouth. Highlights. Squiggly bits. Just here, just going to paint that bottom eyelid. I've got a bit too much green under there and it's kind of detracting. It's easy, isn't it? Yeah, it's easy. I'm sorry about what people say, why do you put all that colour on there? Well, that colour blends together in the skin tones, but it also kind of creates chaos, which is what I like. I don't like creating chaos in any method like that. I can just a bit of bluey white over this side. Some of his hair. His hair. Nice red he is. So I'm going quiet now, have you noticed? Instead of doing more detail, start going quiet. So we can paint the negative stuff. I want to go in a bit lighter. Stand back, have another drink. The sun's not, so it's great rain. I'll just dry his eyes because I'm going to use some compressed charcoal. I just like watercolour, once you dry them, they go a bit darker, so you know you can make them lighter, a bit more white. Get rid of any ones you don't want. Reflection on his neck. Yeah, I was going to do compressed charcoal. You start doing this, you have to fix it, don't forget. The eyes are always kind of one of the darkest parts of the figure, the portrait, because it's a deep set as well. Eyebrows, take that eye in a bit. Use it in his hair. Just to distinguish where cheekbones are. Moustache. Not everywhere, just in places. Usually it's the bottom of the moustache. And they go a bit lighter as they get to the top. So you kind of go the opposite way, upwards. Okay. Some little squiggly bits. This is quite a dark area on this side. Like that. And we'll just draw a line around his shirt. And I like doing that sometimes. Put a couple of holes in his button. That brings out the top of his ear and the inside. Just use your paint up. I'm going to paint some background around him as well now, so I can get rid of anything that I don't want. Emphasise things, yeah. Ears, quite a big shape now. Side of the head. Same up here. You can leave some of the splashy bits, you don't have to get rid of them. I quite like some of them because they give you them random marks again. A bit more white. In the beard. Put a bit of white on his tooth. You've got a little bit on my picture of yellowy white there and under the eye. And some over here, a little bit of light yellowy tone. How was it? Oh God. Sorry, miles away. Right there, on forehead again. It goes into that area. Which I've already taken off once and I've gone over it again. And keep on the shape. Don't paint the creases in the forehead. Just leave it as kind of a shadow. Right. And that's more or less it. Let's get rid of this, use this white. Opaque bit. Do you have it? Anybody keeping up? honest. Some of you are doing really well. Very, very quick. Which is good. Very good. And then take your own pace. Okay, and I'll let that dry. Have a look at it. Varnish it. Just see what it looks like. Might do a bit more on his forehead actually. Because it's a bit cockled as well at the moment. Big cockly bits. But yeah, it does have a look of Andy Farrell actually, but it could be more Andy Farrell than him. He's bothered. All good fun. If he was commissioning me, I'd be pulling me hair right now. But he ain't. So, there you go. Get a picture up. Oh. And I'm in the middle of cooking Lynn's evening meal, tea, dinner, whatever you call it. We call it tea. I'm going on for tea now in Wigan. The clamps. Yeah, what I have to do is spray guys with some fixative because I use some compressed charcoal, so I need to go quite dark. That's better. And there you have him. It's a bit wonky. I might glaze his forehead. Anyway, I'll let that dry. So thanks for watching again. I've really enjoyed myself. I like doing these drippy portraits. It gives me a chance to just throw paint about and have a good time. Like I said before, I'm not after kind of anything really kind of photorealistic. It's more about how quick I can do a painting. Have a nice time. Once you've done the kind of basics of, you know, finding out or drawing skills, you can do anything. You can actually do anything you like. Once your drawing skills are up to kind of scratch, you can do anything you want. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you Friday. So like what I was saying, class 11 on Friday, 12 on Monday, next Monday, and then we start the classes again because I think we've got, well, there'll be another month or so at least before we can start going sunny Spain and whatever and get back to some normality. So after that we'll be another 12 weeks and see how it goes from there. Please let me know if you're not joining, then I can take you off the list, but instead I keep emailing people saying are you joining again or are you subscribing. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for doing all your hard work as well, and hope to see you soon. If not at Nightingale, then one of the other classes. Okay, thank you. Bye now.